Hello everybody, hope you're all well today. I've realised that there's nothing quite like a bit of bad news in the title to get everyone watching. And sadly, you may have noticed there is ongoing turmoil in supply that I wanted to talk to you about today. But before I go into my list of woes, there are some key things that I want to get across to you in case you don't make it that far. Firstly, I understand that in retail you have it way harder than us suppliers at the moment, because for every delayed shipment, you have that number times hundreds for all those affected in your schools. And secondly, I want to thank you for your ongoing support and pragmatism in dealing with these issues, because I know that the vast majority of you know it's not just us, either David Luke as a business or even schoolwear as a market. It is happening everywhere. I know that doesn't make it any better, but lastly, the team here has worked so hard to get the vast proportion of your orders through already, and they continue to work really hard to do everything within their power to get all the remaining orders that haven't arrived yet in as soon as we can. So I want to thank them here now too. But even for those of you who have seen quite a lot of coverage about global supply chain disruption, it might be of some help for you to hear the list of challenges I promised, so it can provide a summary explanation for you, but also for use with schools or communicating with parents more broadly during the summer. I know many of you have already pushed out that communication, and we've had a very kind offer from Luke at the school uniform shop Hereford to share the letter he sent out to his schools for any of you who may want to use it in your businesses. So please just get in touch if you'd like us to send that on. But anyway, here we go. Here's my list. It's basically just COVID. Yeah, that's it. No, I know that's not what anyone wants to hear, and you'll get very annoyed if that's what the reason is that's given. But for last year's back to school, we received shipments in really good time when retail was closed and before the world started to shut down in various ways. So although it was the height of the beginning of the pandemic, the supply chain largely scraped through. But since then, it's a different picture. It's very variable around the world, seeing ongoing lockdowns, worker shortages in key parts of the chain at different and unpredictable times. And as we all know, there's been limited leisure and hospitality continuing everywhere. So with the massive fiscal stimulus that we've seen, then that huge demand surge in consumer goods has also carried on, particularly in the US. And due to this demand pattern shifting, various closures, ships and containers have all continued to be in the wrong places compared to the usual patterns. And the China to US shipping route has regularly been prioritised because it is the most lucrative. And most ports have suffered massive overcapacity, different ports experiencing surges at different times. So we continue with that story of containers still being in short supply, freight forwarders having to manage more requirement for empty boxes than they can provide. We thought it would have settled down, and it hasn't. And you'll remember, obviously, the Suez Canal blockage, that didn't help. But looking at the localised surges and how that's impacting on supply, you'll have seen the terrible situation in India earlier this year, where lots of yarn comes from. Most recently, Bangladesh is now on a full lockdown. Obviously, lots of garments come from there. And for us specifically, recent spikes of the virus in South Africa have had an impact with shortages of port workers and therefore shipping availability. So goods are ready, but transporters and other common regions of supply, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, China, they all continue to experience reduced container availability and, at least a tenfold increase in cost. We've tried different things. We've tried containers on trains from China, which we were really excited about, shorter transit time. But then we've experienced real challenges on clearance in the UK. And now the biggest issue we're all facing is the UK shortage of workers at various parts of the chain. The pingdemic has been widely reported, and many thousands around the country are having to isolate. But the big area directly affecting us all is the haulage sector. And I know that telling you there aren't enough drivers here does sometimes come across as annoying when you kind of think, how hard can it be to move something across this country if it's shipped all the way from the Far East? But if you think that there were 300,000 HGV drivers in the UK before the pandemic, the Road Haulage Association is saying there is a shortage of 100,000. That's a third of that original quantity. And the demand in consumer goods means there should have been a recruitment drive, but it's estimated about 25,000 EU drivers have returned home, and hauliers are unable to recruit replacements from the EU post-Brexit. And think about all those HGV driving tests that were cancelled due to the pandemic. So it's estimated again around 30,000 cancelled. So new drivers haven't been recruited at even nearly the rate they need to be. So I am so sorry that some of the made-to-order goods and a few of our stock lines due to you are late, and that where there have been some occasional errors on our part, there is no flex in the system at the moment to perform the kind of miracles that we've been able to do in the past. And I'm also really sorry that due to the constantly moving picture we're dealing with, we can't always give you certainty about what's going to happen next and exactly where your goods are and exactly why the latest delay has been experienced. And it is not through want of trying. We are as in control of a very chaotic situation as we can be. And as much as your inbox may very much dislike to get the date change information we've started to send this year, which would have been brilliant in any other year, we hope you agree that it's better to know the expected information as soon as we know it. Okay, woes over for now. But I wanted to be open and honest with you today. I know that's not always the way in business, and I know it could absolutely be used against us. But importantly, I know it doesn't help the frustration you may be feeling, but I do want you to know how hard we're working for you. We have lots of containers arriving in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Specific dates are TBC, subject to drivers. And we'll be working flat out to get it turned around so you can have a great back to school and perform as brilliantly as you did last year in really trying circumstances again. And please rest assured, we're doing our very best. The team here are committed to supporting you, and I am very proud of all of them. So I'll be in touch again soon, hopefully just to check you've got everything. Take care, and I'll see you soon.